Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It's Tuesday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. Just hanging out here on a Tuesday night. We're going to create a coffee painting, and this one's going to be of a rabbit. And if I'm not making any sense, it's because I've already gotten into the bourbon, so it's going to be a drunk rabbit. It's going to be great. I can paint while I'm drunk. It's fine. Um, but yeah, so I did want to get kind of started on this rabbit a little bit earlier than I usually do. In fact, I'll go ahead and go to the full view now. Hey, Marble, how's it going? Hey, because I can, and hey, okay, Larry. So if you notice, I've already kind of started on this rabbit, and the reason why is because I noticed that, like in many of these coffee paintings that I've done, you guys see some of the beginning work, but you don't really see the detail work. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on this evening, if it's okay with you guys. Like I said, I've been drinking a little bit, but I can still manage to create really cool art while drinking. So if nothing else, we're going to have some fun. Um, so again, this one's going to be a rabbit. I wanted to make sure that I had some of the beginning stages done so that you guys don't have to sit through that. Um, I wanted to kind of show some of the detail work, which I think is more fun. Some of the detail work is just whenever I worked on these in the past. You guys ended up, yeah, it does look like it's bleeding. So what's cool about this is it does kind of dry, kind of like a Rorschach pattern. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Rorschach ink blots. You can kind of see the bunny in there, but it could really go any direction that you wanted it to. Like at this point, it's lacking all detail, and this is kind of where I leave off my streams some of the time, and I say, "Oh, I'll finish this up and post it in the morning." I didn't want to do that for you guys this time. I wanted you guys to be able to see the detailing. So I'm just jumping right in with the detailing. Sorry for the lack of an introduction. I'm all over the place tonight. Yeah, it's almost like it's a Friday night, but it's only Tuesday. The thing is, I wanted to make sure that I got the beginning part done. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll start on the beginning part. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to be doing the beginning part, I should just make my bourbon. So I made the bourbon, and then I started drinking the bourbon. And then I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days, where I've been kind of feeling a little spacey and lightheaded and stuff. I don't know if it's because I have a cold or whatever, but all those combined definitely have me a little out of sorts. But that's okay. I can still paint. That's what's kind of cool about it. I mean, you can be an artist under any conditions. But anyway, so how are you guys doing? Forget about me. I think this is going to be a cool bunny. I've been thinking a lot about these coffee paintings lately, and I really like them. I really like how they're turning out. And I think what I like the most about them is that, it's like you're dealing with like a real medium here. You're not dealing with something like, I don't know, like not even watercolor. Like this is something that is very earthy. It comes out of the earth. Coffee does. I like that aspect of it. I don't know why I was thinking about that recently, but I was thinking about how grounded coffee is. It's a weird thought, I know. So Tuesday, kind of a little bit into the week so far. How's everybody's weeks going? Let's go, Marble. Marble said she was going to make a video, but then her cat sat on her lap, and then I went live, and well, it can wait. I like that. Yeah, I was debating whether or not I wanted to go live today, but I want to get back into the pattern of doing the Tuesdays and the Fridays. So that's what I'm trying to do. And, yeah, like I said, I've been feeling a little under the weather too, so I was going to skip it, but I feel like, I can do it. It's just a bunny rabbit, right? We can do a bunny rabbit. It's a little early for a bunny rabbit, I think. This is more like a spring thing. But I wanted I want to do all wildlife for these coffee paintings. And I wanted to do a kind of smaller one, like the chipmunk I did the other day, and a bunny just came to mind. Plus, there is a bunny that's been out in the yard, been eating all the bird food. Hey, Rum Dog. Hey, I still have your picture that I need to send out to you. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, so just wanted to give you an update. So that will be in the mail. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I got another painting. I don't know if you guys saw the owl coffee painting that I did, but that's finding a home tomorrow. The guy's supposed to get it during lunch. I'm gonna drop it off to him. So that's kind of cool. Another painting that finds a home. I like that. Hey Fred, how's it going? I've never wanted to drink a painting before. Interesting medium. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can drink the medium. I well, Marble knows she was in here the day that I almost drank my well, I did drink my watercolor water. So you can. It's not the only medium you can drink. The other ones you have to drink by accident, though. Yeah, it's rabbit hunting season. So I mentioned I've got this rabbit out in the front yard that's been eating bird food that I've been putting out because of the winter. Although it hasn't really felt like winter lately. It's felt really warm, but um, been putting out some bird feed for the birds in case it snows or something like that. And there's a rabbit that's learned that once the bird comes in and knocks the bird feed out, it's basically free food for it. So I think that kind of inspires this picture I'm working on today a little bit. But it's a cute wild rabbit. I do have a rabbit that's like a dwarf-eared bunny of my own. Um, but I like the wild rabbits that hang around as well. They mostly hang out in the front yard because, like, in the backyard, I guess you could probably smell my dogs and stuff, and they get like a little weirded out from that. So I don't see too many of them in the backyard these days, but definitely one or two in the front yard every now and then. Watching videos of mountain bikers. That sounds cool. I have a mountain bike. I would love to go mountain biking, like off trails and stuff like that. That sounds awesome. Yeah, it does. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully this way I'm going about it this time, you guys get to see more of the finishing of the picture than in some of my other ones. In some of my other ones, you kind of have to wait for this first layer to dry before you can start adding stuff above it. That's kind of part of the process. Um, with coffee, it kind of forms this like kind of crusty surface. Like this is, I mean, it's kind of crusty, right? And that kind of locks the coffee so that you can add layers above it, if that makes sense. This cat's going nuts. What's up, kitty? You gonna come on the screen? My cat wants to say hi. Oh, your cat left your lap. Thanks for the update. Yeah, this cat's just hanging out. I should do a kitty in the coffee painting style. I want to kind of keep it with doing wildlife though, because like that's kind of a series I've been working on. But that's a great question, Fred. Is it different than using watercolors? It's very similar. It is slightly different. What I use is I use ink copy, so you can kind of control the amount of water in it. It's a little bit different from watercolor, I think, in that you really have a lot of difficulty making it dark, right? So like I want the under part of his mouth to be super dark. This part down here, I want it to be dark. It's kind of gotten dark from just pulling and stuff, but it seems like it's a lot easier with watercolor to create darker areas. There's not like a lot of pigment in these in this coffee. Beyond that, it's mostly the same. You kind of use it the same. Any differences are so small that you really wouldn't notice them. Like if you have experience working in watercolor, you can work in coffee as well. But I love the medium. I've been, over the past month, I've created several of these so far. And what I like about them is they all kind of have this consistent look. They're very stylized. They're a lot of fun to make. It's just awesome. Could probably do the same in watercolor, but I'm really enjoying this coffee. Have a good one, Marble. Appreciate you stopping in. Now that the cat's left, you're gonna go make your video. Good job. Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, but usually when I do these videos, you guys see the early parts. You don't really see the detailing, which I think is half the fun. Because like depending on how dark you want it to go, you really have to control that water. Hey, Vertigo. I guess in a way, this is one of my redemption videos that I started last week. I started going back through my videos and looking at them and evaluating them and deciding like, well, which pieces of art did not really perform the way I wanted them to, and then can I kind of have a redemption round? In that sense, I did try to do a bunny once in charcoal, and it was kind of flat. It was kind of boring. I wasn't very happy with it. I mostly only did it because my mom loves bunnies, and that's kind of the reason why I'm doing this one as well, because my mom's got a birthday coming up. So I figured I'll do this for my mom. Um, so yeah, that one didn't turn out very well. So this is a good chance to kind of revisit that bunny and see if I can do a better one. A cat with rabbit ears. But hopefully you guys' week's going well. Like I said, I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days. Not like sick sick. It's kind of one of those things where you're like not even sure if you're sick or if you're just not motivated. I don't I don't know which it is. Um, I feel kind of like achy like you would with a cold or something like that, but I don't really have any cough and like not really much of a sneeze or anything like that. So I don't know if it's just kind of meh. Is that like an illness that they make medicine for, just feeling meh? Like I actually really enjoy making these pictures, and that kind of like gets me out of whatever kind of funk I'm in. But beyond that, yeah, like I don't feel like watching TV. I don't feel like chatting with people on the chat rooms. I don't feel like doing anything except painting. That sounds like an illness, right? Whiskey. That's a good name for a bunny rabbit. Whiskey. I like it. Yeah, so on Friday I redid a collie that didn't look right. I had tried to do a collie once before, and I don't know, just kind of ran out of time. It didn't really work out well, and it looked ended up looking like garbage. Well, I tackled that again on Friday, and I think the new version turned out really well. So I like this idea of revisiting your past work and seeing if you can make any improvements, because that's kind of the whole point of this channel is like, improving over time. I think it's important to go back and review and you know come up with some sort of metrics for defining success. In this case, It was pretty easy on that collie because it was like flat. There wasn't like a lot going for it. So it was easy to spot what I would do differently. I wish I had the picture of the bunny that I had done in charcoal in front of me because I could probably do the same with this. I could point out what about that bunny isn't really doing it, and then what can I improve? Yeah, this one's a wild rabbit. Pretty sure it's a wild rabbit. I don't know the difference. What's the difference between like a bunny and a wild rabbit? I don't know if there is an actual technical difference between a bunny and a rabbit anyway. Like are they just used interchangeably? Cat, go lay down. Looking cat in the background going nuts. Let's see. Typically painted with burners. uh, for those who don't know, burners is like something that we often talk about. It's a ginger ale kind of drink and stuff. I don't think you can paint with burners. I don't think you can. Hey, hater, how's it going? Creating a bunny rabbit tonight. And the objective tonight is maybe for you guys to see. Like I said, I already started painting this earlier in the day and started my drinking earlier in the day. But the goal here is that you guys would see some of the more finishing details and stuff. So even though we're still kind of working on some of the initial bits, hopefully you guys will be able to see the finished thing, and you guys won't have to wait until tomorrow. So underneath the chin it needs to be pretty dark, and that's the challenge with painting with copy, to be honest. Is cool. Is getting those dark values. In fact, this is the reason why I use the instant coffee versus just like straight up espresso. You would probably have to add stuff to the espresso to make it um, work like this instant coffee. In which case, like you can get like dark values and stuff out of it. I guess you could really have really strong espresso, but you're still going to have too much water in it to really get that pigment down. That's what it seems like with my experiments, but this instant coffee really works. What about you guys? Have you guys tried making any pictures or anything like that lately? Checking to see. So Rome Dog does art. Thanks, Uli. Rome Dog does art. Marble, I know, does art, but she left. I think Bill Gorman maybe creates some art. Kind of curious what you guys are up to these days. The idea is still that like I would have a collection of these coffee paintings and then go and display them in a coffee house, which I think is kind of cool. Like even I don't know, even if nobody buys them, it's not really the point. The point is to like get them out there in public. I think that's important. Like I don't think I'll ever really make any money off of the art. I just want people to see it, like I don't know, people who sing like or have a band or something like yeah, there we go, play like a musical instrument. Um, you don't really expect to go off and be doing concerts and stuff like straight off, but eventually you kind of want to build up to that where you're doing concerts. It's the same way with art. You don't really care. If I mean, it's just a bunny rabbit in like coffee. It's not really the most interesting art that's out there. I mean, it looks cool and everything, but really, it's about getting it out there so that people can see it. It's not really that you're trying to, sell this stuff or whatever. That's the way I look at it. So, um, I don't really care if any of these pieces sell in the coffee shop. I just want it up on the wall. But as far as like walls go, like coffee house is like at one level, and then maybe a gallery, and then maybe, you know, hanging on somebody's wall in their house or something. That's like the final stage. That's my expectation level. So you got little baby steps. Like I think it'd be pretty easy to get this to be hanging on the wall in my mom's wall or something like that, because my mom, she supports what I do. But if I can get it hanging on some other walls and stuff, then I feel like I've actually moved up in the world. That's my thought, at least. I like that idea, Vertigo. I do like that idea. I was thinking about different things that I could do with it. So some of them have already found homes. So like the owl I did the other day, that's finding a new home tomorrow. I have to drop it off to somebody. The original horse that I did that kind of prompted the series, that ended up in an office on a wall. And then my nephew-in-law, my niece's husband, nephew-in-law, I think that's how it works. He laid claim to the deer one that I did, the stag. So, but I've been taking pictures of them, so maybe I can still make a coffee table book. But yeah, I like that idea, Vertigo. That's probably a good use of them, is a coffee table book. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe like make up some stories to go with each piece. Like I try to tell stories whenever I'm working on these things. Like maybe not tonight because like I've been drinking and I'm like nursing I guess a cold or just whatever it is. And it's a little hard to be energetic, but usually when I am energetic and working on these pieces, I like to come up with little stories for them. Like this little bunny, I don't know, he's got a name. He's got things he does. He's got like a little family and stuff. Cat says no, but I like to make up little stories. So yeah, maybe that would go in the little coffee table book. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, Fred, making you feel bad about not getting your music out there. I mean, you don't have to go out there and play for people and stuff. It's just what people typically do. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from just like going out, like say, I don't know, I don't know what you play, but let's say it's a harmonica. So there's nothing stopping you from just going out on the street and playing your harmonica or something. Like when people ask me like what kind of art I do, the answer is performance art. Like I am performing a bunny for you guys, you know. And I like the way I like thinking of it that way because you know what? AI art ain't got nothing on my performance of a bunny. Um, you want to go to Google and download a bunny? Well, that's fine. That's not my performance of a bunny. That's the way I look at it. I like looking at it as like performance art. And it kind of it's a little bit it's important to think that way, I think, because it elevates this bunny. So this bunny is just a I don't want to oversell this bunny, but this bunny is the bunny, right? And it's made out of coffee and paper and everything. But honestly, us sitting here chatting while working on this bunny, it elevates the bunny. It's no longer just a bunny. It's the experience of a bunny. It's the experience of hanging out, talking to each other, listening to my cat having a meltdown in the background. It's a little more than just a bunny. Bill Gorman says he's a rock artist. His art comes from pictures of rock treated with AI. Yeah, I mean, Fred, I take your point. Like, AI is kind of like you can look at it as kind of theft. I don't know. it depends on how you look at it. It definitely steals the data set. I mean, the data that the art is generated from. One could argue that it kind of like creates something new though from that data. So I don't really know. I'd have to think about it if it's actually transformative or if it's just wholesale like ripped off. All right, I gotta deal with this cat for a second because the cat's having a meltdown. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, 1 second. All right, sorry about that. The cat was going nuts. I had to put the cat out. Let's see what we got here. Um, hey there, Jeremy. Why are you so sus? LOL. I don't know. Because I make bunnies. I don't know why I'm so sus. I try not to be. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why talking about bunnies would be considered sus, but I understand. What's the world without a little bit of like mystery anyway? That's why I got to be so sus. The world is a little boring without mystery in it. But I do like this bunny. I think this bunny is cool. But like what I was saying, it's more than just a bunny. It's a time that we share here creating the bunny. It's the fact that like, we're painting the bunny in coffee, which is like something most people don't do. That that's a little more than just the image of the bunny. Um, LOL, bunnies be hopping away. You know who this is, right? It could be a couple of different people. I don't know exactly which one it is. Usually it's Tyler asking me, hey, you know who this is? But I don't think this one's Tyler. I like Penn's Lover for Life though. That's a cool name. Yeah, so this I don't know if it's a cold or not. I'm gonna call it a cold though. So like it's kind of weird. It feels like my head is encased in glass, right? And like if I just sit here, I feel like my head will like start contracting or something. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing. I just feel off. That's all. Probably shouldn't be drinking the alcohol either. But Little Bunny Foo Foo. Yeah, you know that song. Yeah. How's it go? Little bunny foo foo hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. Right? I feel like every kid learned that. Maybe it's just Kentucky. I don't know. But yeah, this is gonna be a cool little bunny. And then, like the experience of the art, I think, is performative as well. So like say I did take this down to that coffee shop, or say I had it in some art show somewhere, or say it was in some gallery. Your experience of it on the gallery wall is likewise this unique experience, right? So like it's more than just the bunny. It's the fact that you're sitting there drinking your double shot espresso latte or whatever you drink. We all different. So you're drinking that, and you're there with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever, and like maybe you guys are having a good time. Maybe you guys are fighting or something. I mean, that all gets transposed onto this image of the bunny that you see in a coffee shop somewhere, or in the gallery or something like that. It's more than just a bunny, is what I'm getting at. It's truly an experience, and I think that a lot of art is that way. Well, I think all art is that way, to be honest. It's an experience. I don't know what I mean with any of this stuff I'm saying. I'm just kind of rambling, but I do believe that I do believe that part, at least, that art is an experience and it's more than just the subject matter that you're creating. Now, is that just an excuse to say this bunny is more than just a bunny? Well, kind of, but also it's true. I really do believe it is true. Yeah, the alcohol. So I'm trying to cleanse myself from the inside there, Fred. Um, it's better than Kentucky, Penn's lover asks. I don't know what's better than Kentucky. Probably a lot of things are better than Kentucky. I live in Kentucky and I've lived in Kentucky for quite some time. I was born in Kentucky, in fact, but I acknowledge that there is a lot of things out there that are better than Kentucky. Like, I don't know if I'm a fan of Kentucky. I am a fan of Kentucky. I take that back. I am a fan of Kentucky. I don't know how far of an extent of a fan I am. Because, Kentucky's got some good and some bad, like any place. I don't know where I would live if I could just live wherever. I think I would travel. I don't think I'd live anywhere in particular. You got the chat part, but you lost the stream. Oh, Rome, you can't see the beautiful bunny here. Sorry. Hopefully that'll come back. So the detailing part that I mentioned earlier is basically just darkening in some areas so that you start seeing some, like you might remember from the beginning of the stream. It was kind of like shapeless blobs. Like you can kind of make out that there was going to be a bunny here, but as far as detail and things like that go, definitely not like a lot there. Um, and as you continue along, this detailing part is actually where you start getting some of the shapes. And then I think after this, there's probably like one other piece where you kind of like do some styling, where you add some splatters and things like that. I'll show some of those effects as well. Yeah, it's definitely Tyler. I picked up on that. How you doing, Tyler? I guessed that it was Tyler, but I don't know. Like the pins lover. That that could have gone either way. How you doing, Tyler? You enjoying it out there in Montana? I need to. Oh, you know what? Like doing wildlife and stuff. I need to do a llama sometime because Tyler is the llama king. He's out there on a llama farm, and I like llamas. Llamas are cool. I'm glad I do these streams because, like I said, I've been feeling funky lately, and just hanging out here talking with you guys and stuff. Even going into it, I was feeling a little bit funky, but now I'm like relaxed. It's amazing. Art is therapy. That's a winner, guys. Like I said, I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm sick or if I just got like I don't know, like just down in the dumps. I get this way sometimes when winter's around. Even though today's been kind of sunny and life isn't that bad. I mean, things are going well. I've been keeping kind of busy lately, and there's no reason to be like down in the dumps except for it being winter. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But sitting here working on this picture, already feel better. That's awesome. People should. I think people do like sometimes do like artist therapy. I think they recommend that, and I like it. I think it's definitely something that people should do. I like this bunny. This is looking cool. All right, so um, I do want to kind of like get some of this a little bit darker down here. This is what I was talking about, like where you guys don't usually see this part. This is where I kind of come back in and abstractify. I don't know if that's the right term, but I take some of the detailed areas like the face and stuff, and I don't want to mess with those. And then some of the other parts I kind of like make a little bit more abstract. So I want it to kind of disappear down here into the legs, disappear back here into um, the tail, other pieces. Kind of want to add a bit of water here and then use some gravity and let that dribble. Let's see if I can do that a little bit. Let me kind of clean this up a bit here. This is the kind of stuff that really makes a painting a little more interesting than just the detailed part. So this coming Sunday is the Super Bowl. You guys excited about that? I know you are, Tyler. You're you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. Oh, you know what? Penguin would be cool. I should do a penguin. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put up a poll and let you guys pick what my next coffee painting is going to be. Like you guys choose what wildlife. I've been kind of steering clear of like jungle creatures for the most part, kind of trying to favor things that you might find out in the woods. Um, which things that you might find in like, I don't know, general wildlife. So like not specifically regional. Although I'm not really sure. Maybe this is a little bit regional. But I think you can find like wild hares everywhere. All right. Oh, cool, hater. Yeah. Like, hey, creative boredom. Appreciate you stopping in. All right. So at this point, you kind of see you kind of see the basic creature, right? And at this point, it's just refinement. So like you got to get some more darker values in underneath this face to kind of separate it out. So you kind of want to. This is the part that you guys don't usually see when I do these. You have to let this stuff dry, and then you kind of come back and just kind of dabble this stuff in. So this is where I would say it's a little bit different than, say, watercolor. Like somebody had asked that earlier. Watercolor, I don't know. I don't have a ton of experience with watercolor, so I don't know if it's that much different. But I do know that here you're trying to pull some of this coffee up so that it creates a more of a pulled stain. So like through here, this always dries darker. You kind of want these same little pulled areas underneath the chin. I don't think that's the way it is with watercolor, but it could be. I don't know, depending on your technique and stuff. Like I usually don't have that much trouble in watercolor creating darker pieces. Like I may have to like do one or two layers and stuff, but I don't really have to stress it so much. With this coffee stuff, you really do have to like let it pool in order to get those darker areas. So, I like it. I think it's kind of cool how this effect works. I should try to do one of these in watercolor just to see if maybe I've just gotten better in watercolor. I don't know. I've just been doing these for a series, I haven't stopped to check my work and see if, well, maybe I just got better at doing things that are basically water mediums, which could be the case. I don't know. Like sometimes, what you learn in one medium translates to another. I like this eye over here. You can only see part of it. I really need to get that working next. Thank you, Creative Boredom. Yeah, if he's rabbit-like, I've done my work. It's a wild rabbit. He does appear very rabbit-like. I like that. He looks just like the rabbits that's been hanging out eating my bird food. So he's got kind of like this halo going behind his eyes, almost like an eye socket. So one of the interesting things is sometimes there's like little air bubbles and they pop. I let those be. I like to let the air dry in the coffee. Maybe some others might not like that, but I think it's kind of cool. It leaves these like little physical effects in it, like this texture. Thanks, Larry. Hey, kid. Well, in a sense, this is my bunny. So I have an actual bunny an actual pet. His name is Test Subject B, and he lives in a cage out back. This is not that bunny. That bunny is a dwarf bunny. It's a white bunny. This is another bunny that is like a wild rabbit that's been coming and eating my bird food that I've been putting out all winter. And in that sense, it's not really my bunny, but it's also kind of my bunny because it's been coming around enough to where it's basically family. It comes in the mornings and sometimes in the evenings. So, so yeah, it's test subject B. So I had another bunny back in the day and it died. That's why, and it was test subject A. I never really actually did like tests on these bunnies. I just named it that because like I don't know, I thought it was funny, but and then I just never gave it another name, so it's not like I could have named it anything else. I do want you guys to know I do not do any actual testing on my rabbits. There's nothing to test for, but I thought it was funny. I think the name kind of came from my dad used to smoke, and he would have these cigarette ashtrays in the yard, and then I needed a water container for the bunny at one point, so I used one of those ashtrays. And then I'm like, well, maybe I'm testing to see if this bunny gets addicted to nicotine or not. That's the most I've ever done is like fed my bunny water out of a like a cigarette ashtray. That's about it. That sounds pretty bad, actually, now that I think of it. Thanks, Sapient. Yeah, I think this bunny's turning out pretty nice. I'm going to get some lighter stuff, and then I think I want to kind of expand. I don't want it to just be, you know, this little area down here. I want it to kind of come out a little bit. But I do like painting, and I do like getting expressive with my paints. Um, Again, I've got more of a background in drawing, and it's not like I'm ever going to give that up. But for the longest time, I thought I couldn't paint, and like you could still argue like, well, Jeremy, you're not very good at painting, and that may be true. I don't know. We can argue that point, but I used to think, well, I can't paint at all, and I have been having a lot of fun with it lately. And to me, it's really interesting to be able to like even create this when I really thought that like no, I'd have to draw it in pencil. Yeah, it is like watching drunk friends sit and carry. Look, I started this show. Look, okay, I did a lot of this bunny before even coming on air. All right. And I started the show. I put out the disclaimer like, look, I've already gotten into the bourbon. I may not make any sense tonight. I'm a little medicated. I'm a little under the weather. I'm not even sure what I'm sick with, except that I'm just not, I don't know, feeling it. I started all I gave all those disclaimers, guys. So like if you don't if if you guys didn't pay attention to all that, I threw it out there. I did. It is like watching drunk friends sing karaoke. Thanks, creative boredom. Um, I've seen you draw. Have you done any painting, creative boredom? Uh, Not that there's anything wrong with your drawings, but I was kind of wondering if you've gotten a little messy with the painting paints yet. Because if not, I was going to suggest it because it doesn't really take that much, you know. You just go in there and have some fun. Like literally just making a mess here and stuff, and then when it dries, you kind of clean it up a little bit. Get something stuck in my eye. Remind you of a song, Tyler? You know, Tyler, I should have guessed that was you. Like I can spot you a mile away. What I like about Tyler is he is always animated, you know? Always animated. He's always on. He's always like I have never seen him like down. Like it's like if he was on a dial like 0 to 10 or something, he's always in at least around 8. Oh, cool. Creative boredom. It's just a lot of fun. You know, you get to make a mess. Hopefully your mess resembles something when you're said and done. I do like this approach where you make a mess and then you try to find something recognizable in it. I've done that in charcoal, I've done that in paint, I've done that in watercolor, I've done that in coffee. I think that's the winner. I like to make a mess and then try to find something recognizable in it. And then also I like to I like to kind of mold like you're working sculpture. So like this hair here isn't necessarily black. It's just catching the shadows. I kind of like that aspect of it. Thought about coming in here with a name you don't know. Yeah, see, that's the other thing about Tyler that I think is cool. He likes to keep you on your toes. Like there's no reason like you can just come in here Tyler with your own name. You don't have to create a new name every time. But he likes to come in here and he's like, guess who this is? And you always know it's Tyler because he's the only one who asks. Like there's literally no one else on the planet who asks like, guess who this is? All right, so I should probably let that eye dry a little bit before I go messing in there. Because one of the things is you can lift up coffee that you previously put down. So I need to kind of let that solidify before I go messing too much with this. But I kind of want it to be super dark like what you see. So what animals do you guys think I should do next? So let's put it this way. Okay, let me give you some constraints here. So I want to do wildlife. I don't really want to do like jungle animals. I want to do like wildlife that you would find if you were walking in the woods. and they can be all kinds of different sizes. So this is a 9 by 12 paper, and I thought that would work well for like a rabbit. I've got smaller paper for things like chipmunks and mice and things like that. And then I've got bigger paper for like big animals. So I am kind of curious what you guys think I should do next. A wolf or a coyote? So I did do a wolf. I haven't done a coyote yet. I did an Arctic wolf. I think that one turned out really well. None of these have to be like the end all be all of them. Like I can do a second wolf or something like that. Or for some reason, if I want to do like more bunnies, I can do more bunnies. But I already did at least one wolf, so that's cool. I haven't done a coyote though. Creative boredom. Yeah, you can come in and ask guess who, but I'm gonna think you're Tyler. Like you can do that, and I may figure. See, now that you said that, I'm gonna think it's you. But yeah, Tyler does that a lot. Tyler always like, guess what? You have to figure out what he's talking about. Ooh, a prairie dog. That sounds cool. Yeah, I could do a prairie dog. Let's see, get some. Yeah, I like this. Oh, bighorn. There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, I'm looking for the big animals. Thanks, Tom. Um, because I've got a certain amount of sheets of paper for those big animals, and I kind of want to make sure I get a lot of them. A bighorn sheep, that would be wonderful. And then probably a bear. I haven't done a bear in this style yet. These are good tips. Oh, a timber rattler. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, so like a snake? That'd be kind of cool. Reptiles? At some point, I want to kind of expand into like jungle creatures and stuff where I would probably, start including alligators and things like that. But certainly certain snakes and stuff. That would look kind of cool. My my thought is my thought is that I would like to own this entire collection, right? I want this to be like a collection, and like I said, some of them I've already found homes, so it's not really a collection. Maybe I can do like some prints or something like that. But the idea is that like all of them together would represent like a big woodland family or something. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, right in there with the bunny rabbit. You should see a snake or two. That would be kind of cool. Guess who this is? Ah, it's Red. No snakes. The bear has to be in the snow. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Like a snow bear. Not like an Arctic bear. I feel like that's a little too far north. But I don't know, grizzly bear, black bear, maybe both. Maybe eventually like a polar bear. I guess that makes sense. But the other thing is, I just didn't really enjoy doing these wildlife things. Like, I guess I could be doing other pictures and stuff like that. I do sometimes try to do portraits. Portraits aren't really my strong ones. Like, I don't think they turn out as well. Um, but I do like doing animals. Animals are cute. There's worse things to paint in the world than animals. And particularly for these coffee paintings, I think they look really cool in this brown, you know, monotone color. Monochromatic, not monotone. Monotone would mean is like super flat. I mean monochromatic. Maybe a platypus. There we go. That'd be cool. Um, yeah, platypus might work. Tyler with his two llamas. Maybe I should do that sometime, Tyler. Just do a drawing of you with the llamas. That'd be cool. Tyler is a llama king, by the way, for those of you who don't know him. He's working on a farm now where he deals with llamas. It's so weird. Like what are they like? What is the purpose of a llama? Like cows and stuff, you get milk out of them. I guess like you don't eat llamas or anything. Like what do llamas do? Is it the wool? Is it the clothing that you get out of a llama? I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Tyler about that. House title, the realtor said he wasted 2 weeks of her time. Oh, are you saying you're not Bill, I thought you were talking about moving to Kentucky. I was gonna ask, are you not moving to Kentucky now? But it sounds like you're talking about something else. Had to had to think about that one. Jeremy, I think it would be great if you could consider doing live streams 3 times a week. What days do you recommend? Um, I'm already doing Tuesdays and Fridays. I think if I did another live stream, just because people have asked, I might do like an earlier in the day one, but I don't know what day. I don't know what day I would do that. Maybe like a Wednesday afternoon or something like, I don't know, midday or something like that. I'd have to give that some thought. But like, yeah, if I did the normal monotone thing, that people would be falling asleep during lunch. That's no good. People do like tune in just to take a nap. So like, if I'm doing like an earlier show, that's no good. A bear would look cool. Oh, an otter. I love otters. Oh, like a little, yeah. Okay. All right. An otter is definitely going on the list. I love that idea. I don't know why I didn't think of an otter earlier. So I don't know. Some of you guys been to New Mexico and you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say Eagle Nest Lake. When you're driving through there, there's these little, almost like little chipmunks that like pop their head out and run across the road, almost like they're suicidal. What are those things called? I would like to do one of those. They're like little creatures that run across the road. I know I'm not giving a great description here, but like if you've ever been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These these like little dudes. They're like long chipmunks. I don't know what they're called. They're not quite ferrets, but oh, Saturdays. Yeah, maybe I could do Saturdays. Maybe like a shorter stream or something, you know. A lot of times, I'm working on something Friday night, and I don't get a chance to finish it. I can come back and finish it on Saturday or something. That sounds cool. Yeah, New Mexico is great. I love New Mexico. Um, it's like Colorado, but not quite. It's a little more desert. Yeah, I guess New Mexico's pretty big, so there's all kinds of different areas. The area near Taos and like north of Santa Fe, well, Santa Fe itself. I love that. And then they have this great art scene there. I would love to live there. I guess if I was like marking off places that would be cool to live, that would definitely be on the list. Although it probably gets kind of hot there during the summer. I don't know. Like I feel like that'd be a nice winter place because like they have this really cool Christmas display and everything like that. That'd be like a fun Christmas thing. But then I don't know, during the summer I'd have to go find somewhere else because it's too hot. Roadrunner. Oh, I should do like a real life Roadrunner in Coyote. That'd be cool. Get some darker area through here. This does look like a serious rabbit. I like it. So it does look like some of my mess is starting to dry down here. So a lot of it is working something and then letting it dry and then coming back and revisiting it. So for example, I might actually mess with this eye a little bit, but I need to let it dry. So like I could like lift a little bit of this up and kind of create more of a glassy look, but I do need to let it dry. Now down through here, I'm liking how this is drying. This is drying really cool. So this is again going back to a lot of the times you guys see the earlier parts where I'm doing like a lot of the shape building, but you don't see some of these after effects or like little things that I put in just to create some cool style. So like I look at this and I see over here it's kind of like a little bit lost, and I want to kind of hint I want to kind of hint at an edge of this bunny. So I want you to know that the bunny kind of stops here. So I'll just add a little bit of gunk. And it's fine if it starts to pull. Like you can't really see because the camera's not zoomed in. But you see this little like it's almost like a little pimple, right? That's all like a little air bubble that's trapped in that coffee. And I guess like if you really wanted your picture to be nice and smooth, you would want to pop that air bubble. But I don't. I like it. I hope it dries like that. I think it creates this cool little texture. So I want more of those actually. And the way you make more of those is you kind of come over here to your coffee. You want kind of like this syrupy stuff here. This stuff is almost like syrup. You just come in and just kind of, it's okay if it goes nuts. You can always fix this stuff and redirect it later, but you just kind of build up that, and then you get these like little air bubbles, which I think are cool. Like my entire description of them are, I think those are cool. Like, like honestly, if you want to learn how to paint and you want to be a proper artist, go somewhere else, learn from somebody else, because all I'm going to do is tell you, oh, that looks cool. Like that was a complete accident. The thing is, you do enough of these accidents, and eventually you start to notice them and what causes them, and you want to kind of like encourage them. But this type of stuff through here, this is all like accidental. It's like if you don't like that, you can redirect it, you can move it around. But I like it. I think this creates like a nice back to the bunny, right? I don't know. A kid wants me to do the cat. See, the cat is not a wildlife creature though. Like I'm gonna have to do the cat separately, not as a coffee painting. Unless that's what you want. Like if you think that the cat should be done as a coffee painting, then I'll do the cat as a coffee painting. But so far, all of these coffee paintings that I've done, like I wanted to do like a wizard or something in coffee painting, but I haven't done it yet because I feel like, well, I'm not doing the wildlife thing I'm supposed to be doing. I want to branch out. I want to do like castles and samurais and coffee and a bunch of other stuff. Hmm. It doesn't have to all be wildlife. Yeah, you know what? I'll do Archer and coffee. I'll do Archer and coffee because I can, because I'm in charge here. I can do whatever I want because art is whatever you want it to be. I like how this kind of washes out over here, and I like these like little splotches that have dried in through here. That's a great abstraction of the bunny. So you don't know exactly if the bunny is like kind of moving. I think I like to think that the bunny's kind of moving off in this direction. So the head's here, the body kind of comes around, and it's almost like it's in movement. Like maybe it got caught by the dog and is kind of running. Wildlife can be pets too. That's true. Yeah. Like for example, there is that bunny that hangs out in my yard. Is that family? Yeah, I think so. Is that pet? Yeah. Could that bunny care less about me? Yeah. Yeah, that bunny don't know my name, doesn't care. But you know what? I bet you it would miss if I didn't put the bird food out. Because it'd be like, oh man, I gotta go do something else. I gotta go and get my food somewhere else. I can't just be hanging out here anymore because you stopped putting bird food out. That's what would happen. Archer and coffee. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll do that this Friday then. Or at some point soon. You guys have been very patient with me, and I do respond to requests, and that's a great request. And I think Archer would really enjoy it, even though Archer was being a bit of snot earlier, and Archer does not deserve our kindness. I had to stop the stream for a moment to let Archer out because Archer was not happy. Maybe Archer wasn't happy though because I haven't done a painting of Archer. You know what I should do? I haven't done a painting of Bear either. I need to do Archer and Bear together. That would be cute. That would be a cute picture. Archer and Bear, and then maybe Gannis in it too. I don't know. It'd be really super cute if it was Archer and Bear because they look like they belong together. You need a wildlife permit to take a pet parrot to Canada or Mexico or anywhere out of the country. I did not know that. It, like, are parrots considered exotic pets? The only parrot I know of is when when I was a kid, not a kid, like a high schooler. I used to take the bus down to the college campus, and they had a pet store down there. And because it was on like the college campus, they taught it all kinds of terrible, terrible words that you would not normally want. You wouldn't want your kid to repeat, much less a parrot. But yeah, that parrot knew all the bad words. I wonder what ever happened to that parrot. It was the best parrot though. They had a really cool pet store. Like they had a basement with like all kinds of like fish set up like aquariums and stuff like that. As a young kid, I thought that was the coolest place. And then I would go down there and check out their pet store. And then they had like a head shop a little ways down, pretty famous place called Stone Mountain in Cincinnati. It's not there anymore. It closed down many years ago. But they would sell all the all of the paraphernalia, but also like really cool hippie type t-shirts and like hemp jackets, things like that. It was pretty cool, for like a teenager who wants to be cool and wants to hang out with the cool people and stuff like that, to like be exposed to that kind of stuff as a high schooler was kind of fun. It was a cool name. And so like the name of the place was Stone Mountain, and you walk in and I don't know if they just let anybody do this, but the core was you walk in and there was like a stairway leading up to the place, and it was all painted black, and then they had let people come in with like fluorescent colors and stuff like that, and like black lights and so on, and write all kinds of cool sayings and draw like dragons and like cool stuff. I need to find a picture of that. I'm sure there's a picture on the internet somewhere. Like I said, the place isn't around anymore, but the art in there, I hope somebody preserved that because it was so cool. It was very cool. Like I always thought, like if I ever open a coffee shop, you would have this entrance that would have all of this black light art and everything. That would be so cool. But nah, it was pretty famous though. Like I think people came from like all around. It was like the um one of the only like head shops in Cincinnati that I don't know. I feel like people would go there because they knew of it. Oh, Bill says he's a convicted parrot trafficker. They didn't take your parrot though, did they? Like you still have your parrot. They didn't seize your parrot or anything like that. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna use this to wipe my nose. Oh, you should not use paper towels to wipe your nose. That hurts. We don't know time. I like this one. This format where I went off and did like a lot of the work before actually going live because like I'm able to keep it under a certain amount of time. That's good. Yeah, Stone Mountain in Georgia. I've been there too. I used to live in Riverdale. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Stone Mountain in Georgia is pretty cool. Like the laser light shows, particularly. I haven't been there since I was a kid. Like I don't know what it's like now, but I remember they also had like a train that ran by where you go to view the lights. Like there's that big lawn or whatever where you sit out and you watch the lights and stuff. And then they had a train that go by. I remember we used to put like pennies on the train tracks so that when the trains came by, they would like flatten them. That has nothing to do with the light show. It's just a random memory of mine. But yeah, Stone Mountain's pretty cool. When I was in the Boy Scouts back in the day, we went camping near. Well, we went camping at Stone Mountain, but we would go hiking and stuff on Stone Mountain. So like you have the big laser light display, and you have the railroad or whatever, the incline railway or skylift or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but you could also hike up there, and we used to do that as Boy Scouts. It was a lot of fun. It's a mean looking rabbit. He's not supposed to look that mean. I need to kind of lighten up this scowl he's got. It's supposed to be a friendly rabbit. Oh, I'm sorry he died. Sorry about that, Bill. Yeah, seems like a parrot would be like a true companion, like one that actually talks to you and hangs out with you and stuff like that. So for your parrot to pass away, I am sorry about that. Yeah, that looks cool. All right. So I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I just made that a more friendly rabbit. Maybe it's only in my own mind, but yeah, he I think he looks nicer now. If he still looks mad, I'll continue tinkering with it, but I feel like he looks a little bit happier. So some of these suggestions of what you guys want me to do, of course, Archer is going to be the next one, the Archer Kitty, but I think raccoons will probably be in the cards for the near future. I do like the idea of reptiles, like maybe even like a turtle. There are some crazy turtles out there in the like I need to share a picture of you guys with you guys of where I went kayaking on a nearby creek, and there is this dinosaur looking turtle. Like it is a huge gigantic snapping turtle, but it has like the armor plating on it and everything. It is ridiculous. It looks like a dinosaur. I need to share that with you guys. um so like a turtle like that would probably look cool as a wildlife painting. I don't think you can go wrong with wildlife paintings. I think that they're fun and, they're easily related. Who doesn't like a bunny, right? Who doesn't like a bunny? You're on CNN with your parrot? That's cool. You're making my parent watch panda porn. Okay. Whatever you guys do in your spare time there, Bill, is not my business. All right. So I kind of like the face now. I think I think he looks a lot more friendlier and softer. So I'm not going to mess with that too much. Put a little bit more detail in these ears. No, I don't really need to go that far. Alligator snapper. Whatever kind of turtle that was that I was talking about. Yeah, I think that that might be. It looked like an alligator snapper, alligator slash snapper. I don't know. It was definitely a snapper type turtle. I don't know very much about like the proper names for these different animals and so on. But yeah, it looked like a dinosaur. It probably was that. You need to do two coffee raccoons so I can get dibs on this one. I think I still owe you a picture, kid. So like, if you want me to do a coffee raccoon, I can do that. Yeah, I think you're one up on the pictures that I produced. I need to check with that coffee shop and see if they allow copies. So like if they allow prints to be put up on the wall, that would be cool because then I wouldn't feel so bad about letting some of these go. Like again, I made a picture, an owl specifically for this coffee shop because their logo was an owl. And then somebody's friend really likes owls, so like, yeah, okay, you can have this one, and so on. So it's like, I don't know. By the time I get around to actually putting a picture up in the coffee shop, I'm not going to have anything left. But I like your idea of making like two of them. Like, so for each picture I do, I should do two exact. I should do one that's that's for giveaway, and then one for the collection. So like I should make two rabbits, two raccoons, two horses, two deers. I like that strategy, and ultimately I think that's what I'm going to end up doing anyway. Just because it probably works out. Like the problem is I don't want you guys to have to sit through like duplicates and stuff. Like you guys should only really watch me do one rabbit. Like how many rabbits do you need to watch me do? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll put them up if you guys aren't bored by them. I mean, sometimes we're just hanging out, right? Like you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but most times you guys don't really care what I'm working on. You just like hanging out, and I respect that because like I mean that's what I enjoy. I just enjoy hanging out with you guys. So I do like this, what I just did. I just kind of like add a little bit more shadow underneath that mouth and it kind of brings it together, right? So now your focal point is through here somewhere, and then the shadows kind of bring you into the rest of the animal. I love things like that. That's cool, right? It's almost like I did that intentionally, but I really didn't. Yeah, two raccoons, one for kids raccoon room. Which is cool, by the way. Like, I mean, she's got that place set up. Like, I don't know if that's like a bed and breakfast type deal or whatever, but it's definitely like a coon themed room, and it looks cool. So definitely need a coffee raccoon for that. Little trash pandas, and then this will go in the collection. But also, I kind of did this one for my mom because she likes rabbits. I think the collection at this point is just going to be like Vertigo mentioned, like maybe a book or something. Like the collection will be because like at the coffee shop there's only so many they can hang up anyway, and my idea was that I would do like 30 of these, but not just for the coffee shop. Like the coffee shop's only going to be able to hang up so many. The idea is that I read somewhere that you need like 30 in order to do like an art show. Well, the truth is I don't know if I'm going to do an art show. At this point it's just mostly some ideas. It's kind of a goal I've got, but I don't know. I like that. Did you see that? It's just pushing pushing this little brush and stuff. I like that. That turned out really nice. I like that. Anywho, um, I do like the idea of keeping all of these in digital form though, for like a little book or something. like a little scrapbook. I like that idea. Because these guys are so cute. They belong together as a group. And the raccoon and the little mice that I'm gonna do, the big bears that I'm gonna do, the snapping turtle I'm gonna do. They all belong together. I like that idea. And then, maybe I'll write a story or two for each of them. I like that idea. So I think I need to let this dry a little bit before getting some of the whiskers that come off the side. Thanks, Tom. So the idea is I should be able to, after it's dry, go ahead and come through and remove some of this coffee to create whiskers. I'm gonna try that. The dry brush. Yeah, you kind of get a little whisker going there. Maybe it's not as white as I would like, but you can always touch that up later. Oh yeah, obviously if I do an art show, everybody's invited. The problem is, uh, I don't know, I get kind of frustrated sometimes. So like, I'm on the fence. I'm really on the fence. But then, um, the problem with these art shows is that you have to commit to them so far in advance. Like for example, there's one in May. That's kind of a small one. It's perfect for getting my feet wet, right? It's not like one of those juried art shows where you have to apply and they have to approve you, or it's basically anybody who applies ends up getting in, um, which is perfect for somebody who's just starting out like me, right? Um, I don't, it's only like 250 bucks or something. It's not like it's a huge investment. You don't have to worry about like, wasting your money if things don't, like 250 bucks. If I sell no pieces, I can live through that, right? It's not a big deal. Um, but the problem is that you have to commit to these things so far in advance. So like, even though it's not until May, I have to decide whether I want to do that by March. And the problem is that, like, even if I wanted to do it, I still have to create the pieces for it. I have to, you got to put a tent together. You have to build walls for the tent or whatever, and things to hang your pictures on. There's a lot involved in it. So it's like, even if I wanted to do it, you know, the question is like, can I put it together that quickly? I don't know. So that's what sucks. That's what sucks. That's why, even though it's a goal of mine this year, I don't know if it's one I'm taking seriously. It may be that like I just do a yard sale out front. Like I'll do a yard sale in my yard, and I'll put all these pictures up. That might be my art show. And of course, you guys would all be invited to that. That would be awesome. But like the nature of my art show maybe scaled back a little bit. I don't know. Thanks, Ader. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm getting pretty close to being calling this done because I don't want to overdo the face. A lot of times what I do is I like let these things dry and then I kind of like come back and I take another look at it, see if there's anything that I can improve, do like little touch-ups and so on. I do like this bit where I worked on a lot of this with you guys here um in like real time. Instead of like making you guys wait through like, okay, I had some blotted down, but you're not seeing any of the details until tomorrow. That sucks. I'm happier with this format where I do a little bit of the prep work beforehand. So with that in mind, there is some features that I always try to make sure that I have in these pictures. They're like signature things. It's kind of dumb, but it's part of the coffee art bit. So, I get a little bit of coffee just kind of going over here, kind of make a little circle out of that. And then I take my coffee cup and I kind of put it in. Now, the last time I did this on the chipmunk, it didn't look right because it looked like I gave him like enormous testicles, and I didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to try not to do that with this rabbit. But I do want, I do want this to kind of be over here. And I think that looks cool. I'll let that dry. And I want to make sure that there's at least two, but I'm not sure where I'm going to put the other one. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Yeah, I'm going to do an art show at some point, even if I'm just doing like some rando thing at a coffee shop or something. I don't know. Like, I don't have to be like in some like New York gallery or something like that. I don't have those kind of aspirations, but I want the full artist experience. And part of that is you have to show your work publicly. I mean, obviously on on YouTube, but I mean like you have to put it out there. And it's not just like friends. Like I consider all you guys friends at this point. I mean, if you guys are going to show up and like hang out with me on YouTube, you're friends by now. Um, so like I feel like you guys judge me a little bit nicer than the general public might. So I do want to kind of get this out there and see what like the general public thinks of it. So that's going to happen at some point. What that looks like, I have no idea. I don't know if I'm going to commit to that thing in May, if I'm going to wait for some other one, or, you know, I'm not above like doing, you know, just pop up in the park at some point and like not even get permission, just kind of like, because what are they going to do, right? You have these pictures hanging up on the side of a like a little temporary wall or something, even if you're not like you're not even selling it, so like what can they complain about? Like they can be like, we don't want you to show your art. They're not going to do that. They might complain if you try to sell your art, but I that's not what it's about. It's about showing your art. It'll happen. It'll happen this year. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but it's on my goal. It's on my goals list. There we go. Larry, what's that trash panda motto? There's a trash panda motto. Yeah, I'm definitely doing a raccoon in this copy art stuff. I just think it looks cool. Like even if I don't know where I was going with that train of thought, but the what I wanted to say is that like coffee art is just a perfect medium for wildlife. It looks like wildlife should be done in this style because of the color and the style. It just works. All right, so there are some more splotches, I think, up around the ears. Try to reach around here, just kind of control that. There you go. I like this, like these little splatters because they they look kind of grungy, right? And, I think that adds to it. I want I want a bigger blob. There you go. That works. I definitely don't want to overdo it. I do think I want like at least one streak down here. Get, get some of that pulled up. I don't know how that's going to dry, so I'll just let that sit. Some of it, unfortunately, you do have to come back after it's dried and everything and kind of do some touch ups. Jeremy, I would be chuffed to have the opportunity to organize your art show in London. If you grant me the privilege, I have good friends at Sotheby's and or Sotheby's. I never knew how to pronounce that in London and Hong Kong. Well, I don't know if I'm ever going to be good enough for Sotheby's, but I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Hater. Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see. I do like the idea of going over there. I don't know if it would be for like an art show or anything, but I appreciate that. I don't think Sotheby's like would be doing like copy art. I think I would have to like actually learn a proper medium before I start showing there. That would be awesome though. Art shows have 100 times more lookers than buyers. Yeah, uh, I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys. At this point, it's like I am not that confident that any of this stuff is really going to sell to the point where it matters. It's mostly just participating in the artist experience, which to me is like you got to show it um, out there, in public. So to me, it's not about the selling of it, really. Like, I mean, extra cash and stuff, that's always great, but I don't know if I don't even know what to sell this stuff for, you know. It's more about like I just want people to like judge me like as an artist. That has nothing to do with like the actual price. If that makes sense. Like I want people to look at it and be like, okay, Jeremy, you created real art or not, out of coffee. You gotta work on that whisker there. That's what it's about. I honestly don't know how artists earn a living to be completely honest. I don't know how people sell art or anything like that. When I go to the galleries, I don't go there with the I guess some people do, like if you just bought a house or something, and you went to an art show, you're maybe going to the art show with the idea that you're going to decorate your house. It's your brand new house, you want to decorate it or something, or same with like an office or something like that. But short of that, I don't really know. Like whenever I go to an art gallery, I'm not in purchasing mode. I don't. The only art I ever buy is from my friends, who are artists. I don't know like how people do that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a perky bunny. Thank you, Hillary. It was looking pretty mean earlier, but he's definitely perked up. And I think this is a little too to lighten that up. But I do think I'm getting pretty close to calling this one done. This might be an early night for us guys. Because I don't want to overwork it. And there are some things that I might have to wait until the morning to do. The other thing I like to do when they're all done is I like to compare them to other coffee art pictures I've done, because I think it's important for them to all be consistent and in the same style and look like they're done by the same guy. I've been pretty lucky on that so far to where most of these things are. Um, I was a little nervous about that bison I worked on the other day. Like you guys have seen that one. It's a little bit different just because I have the bison up in the corner and there's like a little bit more to kind of create that balance of in the composition. I don't even know if I was completely successful with it, but um, yeah, even that one kind of looks like it's part of the collection, which is so important to me because at this point I'm basically going to do what Vertigo was talking about earlier, which is create like a coffee book, even if it's for my own narcissistic uh, reference, right? Where it's going on my coffee table or something like that. I think this would be kind of cool, you know, a coffee table book of coffee art. That would be awesome. Wildlife coffee art too. Be like who's a wildlife artist? Audubon, the guy who did all the bird pictures. Yeah, it'd be like if uh, if James Audubon drank a lot of coffee and it spilled all over his page. uh, let's see. Made about $300 selling $20 prints in West Yellowstone in 2022. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Uh, prints of what? Like you're doing like trying to think. Like you have shown some of your work. I should know what it is. What kind of paintings are they? I'll get back with you on that. I'm kind of curious. Great engine, go get it. Can't wish I had Hillary all the way here in Livingston, Montana, in the middle of nowhere with no transportation, but I do have my sister in New York. It's supposed to be a coffee joke, LOL. Bad joke. Awesome engine. There were no bad coffee jokes. All right. So I kind of feel like this needs at least one more ring. I'm gonna put this, maybe a lighter one. Put this guy right here. I think that looks cool. Kind of lined up, almost like the back. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. So I'm not going to overdo those rings. I'm going to leave that one be. Oh, Prince of Your Art. Cool. Yeah, I like the idea of a book. Because then I can like, then I can look at it. I don't know. I don't know what. To be honest with you guys, I really just enjoy hanging out with you guys and making these pictures. Like there doesn't have to be a reason for it. Just because I know that that guy said that he can put these up in the coffee shop. That's the full extent of what I'm going to do with these pictures. And even if I don't ever get to that point, at least I was hanging out with you guys, making pictures. Yeah, it's fine. All right. So I do think I'm at risk of overdoing this. Um, so some of this probably needs to dry. I might actually lift up some of the darkness through here, kind of lighten this up a little bit, and I may actually do that with this over here. There are some areas that I might come back and touch up with like white. Certainly to get those whiskers in there. So like this whisker here, I kind of carved out a path for it, but it really needs to be white. So I might have some whiskers coming down. I don't know if I want to do that with like acrylic or I want to like continue trying to lift up this coffee to make it pure coffee. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Next you should do a deer and name him Starbuck. I like it. I like the name of that. Yeah, that's cool. Probably need to do like a little white through here, but overall, I think that this. I think I have to call this done because otherwise I'm really running the risk of overworking it. So able to add the details because of time. This is the inverse. This is where I started with all of that stuff already done. I had already drank a lot of my bourbon by the time you guys actually joined me. This is the part that you guys usually don't see because I'm working on this off screen. So the tips are you have to like let your coffee kind of dry a little bit so that you have that kind of crust, and then you can come back and grab some of the syrupy areas of this coffee as it's kind of pulled. So if it's nice and syrupy, I can kind of add some dark areas, like in this eye, kind of like around the eye. You know, all the areas that need dark bits. I've got this like syrupy mess here. There's some areas that maybe a little bit less dark. I just use the regular coffee for that. I'm not afraid to let things kind of like create air bubbles and stuff. I think that adds like a cool texture to it. I want to create splatters. As you can see, I added these splatters. It's not like, you know, those spilled on the page. Um, these rings, you kind of want the rings to be in there to call it a coffee painting. But some of these things are like neat little accidents. So because I put that ring in, this water back here is kind of pulled here and created this dark area. I'm cool with that. I think that actually looks cool. Some of this, the areas through here kind of pulled a little bit darker. I like that because it kind of creates this little like almost three-dimensionality to what could otherwise be like a two-dimensional like fur area. Um, let's see. There are some features probably that could be a little bit darker. Like I can add a little bit to this nose through here. But that's what you do with this pulled kind of syrupy coffee. Now, what you end up with, maybe I'll shoot a video of that sometime, but you end up with like, you know, this kind of glossy area here and stuff. It's all fine. It's almost like you're painting with coffee syrup. It's very cool. Um, yeah, I don't know what else I can say about it, but I wanted to show that aspect of it because you don't usually catch that in my live streams. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's see. Creating coffee art can be quite challenging, especially for individuals like myself. Despite my efforts, my attempt at drawing a unicorn using coffee resulted in a depiction resembling Spider-Man. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, there is no way to create a piece of coffee art in one sitting. I think I've discovered that. So like if you scrub bar all the way back to the beginning of this video, that blob that you see, that is like the first effort. So you let the blob sit there and dry, and then you can come back and add detail and stuff. I don't think you can do it all in one sitting because you have to let this stuff dry before you can add these details. So, if you did a unicorn and it turned out looking like Spider-Man, hey, that sounds right. That really does. I don't know if I could do any different. See, Vertigo says he's doing fine. Asking Tyler about settling into Montana life. That's a good one. Hillary thinks kid. Jeremy, are they just displaying at the coffee shop or putting prices on as well? I don't know. The guy says that he'll hang them up. I assume that I'm left to my own devices as far as like putting them in frames, which kind of sucks. I got to put them in frames. I got to put a price on them probably. We didn't even hash out like percentages or anything. Hopefully he's not listening to this because he might get the idea that I have no idea what I'm doing and he might take advantage of me. But I don't really care. I just want the pictures hanging up. In fact, if he never sells any of them and he just wants them up there as decor, that's cool too. Because then I can just take them back down and take them to some other place and hang them up there. Be like a traveling gallery. So to let you know, I don't really know the details of that. I just kind of, I don't know. I assume it'll all just work out. I don't know. I got to create the picture first. That's the way I look at it. It's probably a little naive to look at it that way, but I'm a dumb person. I'm not that smart. I don't put a lot of thought into these things. We'll just see how it goes. Just let life just happen. It's worked so far. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Barrett said hi. All right. Well, I think that's it for me tonight. Do a display at Starbucks. If it doesn't work out at this one coffee shop, I'm sure that I can find others. But pro tip: estate sales for decent, inexpensive picture frames. Yeah, that and going to Goodwills or Salvation Armies or something like that. That's a problem. When you hang them up somewhere, they have to be framed. So I have to sort that out. We'll figure that out later. But right now, I'm just trying to create the cool pictures. So. But anyway, I hope that you guys had fun hanging out with me tonight. Sorry we had kind of a rough start because I'm still drinking, so, but I think we created a pretty cool little bunny and, Bear's pretty happy with it. I'm happy with it. You guys are happy with it. So, we'll go ahead and call it an evening. I'll post this up on the community tab. I'm not sure there's many changes I would do to it, but I might add an effect here or there just to call it done. But that's it for me. I'll see you guys. Bye. See ya.